The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the position of the management and staff of Guardian Network.
The aftermath of every social revolution brings about change. Cultural norms and landmarks shift as our minds and hearts expand beyond the familiar. To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose in the land of the living. This is our time to renew, revive, and restore the hope lost to the busyness of life. This is our time to dig again and rebuild from the storms of our past on a solid footing that holds. Welcome to The Foundation.
The Foundation. Foundation.
The Foundation of Hard Grant is brought to you by Alive, AML Foods Limited, APNL Holdings Limited, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, the Deposit Insurance Corporation, the Digital Transformation Unit, Freeport News, the Ministry of Agriculture, Marine Resources, Popeyes, Ron's Electric Motors, and Scotiabank.
6.912 is the time you can call the show or use the text line. Yeah, he educates, he informs, he goes against the norm. He's really got that zeal, plus he's a child of God.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, on this absolutely gorgeous Tuesday afternoon. So happy to be in your company. It is a wonderful day. I don't know. I feel like singing in the rain. It's not raining today. It's a beautiful day. 8,224 degrees outside. I'm hoping that you ensure you keep yourself hydrated as we talk about these things. I read a story, broke my heart. Broke my heart. Make sure you guys pick up your Guardian newspaper. Find out all the information's in the paper today. Today, the lines are going to be wide open as we talk about these things. BPL explains woes at Station A plant. BPL explains delayed maintenance on the Wärtsilä engines. Also in the paper, the DPM, we will lead as we see fit. The Prime Minister says that FTX collapse challenging, quote unquote, challenging, but touts the regulatory system. And Wojcicki meet with the women groups on protection against violence. It's Tuesday. It's a beautiful day. And it's one of those days that you want to be able to pause. If you're out there and getting yourself back to school, one of the things I assure you, well, if you got children in your house, one of the things that I can assure you that is happening in your house right now is that your children are consuming everything. Talk to me. I don't know why. These children don't eat this much. They don't eat this much when school open. We got to push them outside until after 3 and then tell them come. But if your fridge is empty like my fridge, make sure you go down to my good, decent friends and family. I always try to be able to take on this position at Milo Butler Mart. I mean, listen to me. It's one of the things that you have to do to really get yourself prepared. They got a great deal of things laid out, and I'm happy to kind of talk about this and really talk about the opportunities that exist in those particular areas, all the things that they're doing, access to those things. You can be able to see that they have the weekend meat specials. There's $20 packages that they have. You can get yourself chicken, turkey, pork, $20. Lamb, portion chickens and chicken thighs, $20. Or pork chop with spare ribs or split chicken, $20. And also, on Saturdays, they can be able to do this, available on the weekends. They have the Bohemian Arts and Craft. Make sure you give them a call, 677-6397, 677-6397. They got all sorts of things, native plantains. They got Abaco Delight jams, pepper sauce, dry rosemary, sea salt, avocados, the entire thing. You want to go natural. That's one of the things that they're pushing down there at Milo Butler Mart. Make sure you do that. Milo B. Butler and Sons. They have wonderful things going on. I want to be able to give them a good shout out to my guy, Alan Butler, who's the CEO doing major stuff down there at Milo B. Butler. You know exactly where it is. Guys, it's a beautiful day. I am grateful to be here with you. I am grateful to be here with you to kind of chop this down and really be able to talk about these things. The lines are wide open today, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300. 5720, or you can hit me up 422-4796. There's a great deal of things happening out there. Before I go anywhere, yesterday I had an opportunity to be able to sit down with a trusted voice in our community. Can I say that? After the show, I had got a call. If you remember the very first call that we had when we actually break this story and started to talk about the fact that I knew the young lady who had the daughter who's been abducted and raped. I want to be very clear about this. I don't think that for political correct purposes that we should say sexually assaulted. That's rape. It is against her will. It is, she's not even prepared for that. She was absolutely ravaged, and the monster still exists. Please, ladies and gentlemen, let's deal with this. We're still looking for the white skyline. We're going to reach out to Chief Superintendent Skippings for her to be able to give us more information as to exactly what's happening down at the Royal Bahamas Police Force to tell us exactly where we are. All right. So the very first person to break after I, sort of talked to you about that story, what happened last week, Friday, and being able to give that information and putting it to the forefront like that, I got a call on air, and you may have, recognized the voice. My producer Kermit was saying to me, oh yeah, this, because the voice sounded familiar, and I was trying to, because it normally sounds like Dr. Dow Regis, but I didn't want to say it, right? So I'm listening, right? And I'm saying, who is this? I couldn't, and he's saying to me, Howard. I'm looking at him mouth. Howard, it's Miss Sheila Culmer. So I had an opportunity yesterday to be able to go down and sit in her beautiful home with her and her family to talk about her commitment to this, her commitment to the idea of being able to assist, how the story touched her, and how she wanted to contribute. We were supposed to meet up after church on Sunday. She said Monday's a better time. I came after work on Monday. And for her to be able to give what she gave yesterday, she gave a generous donation. And I want to say thank you to Ms. Sheila Culmer. Thank you for the rich stories and your contribution to this country. Can I say that? Can I say that? Guys, I just sitting down with Ms. Culmer, I recognize that these moments need to be captured. Okay, so you're listening to me and you have a wealth of knowledge in you. I promise you, I will do more initiatives that can be able to reach out to people and connect with more people in the city to hear your stories. Because you're all obviously in your calming. But when I show up to your house, we sit down and you tell me your stories and whatnot, and I realize that these are stories that need to be archived. Talk to me. Let's just be very clear about this. These are stories that needs to be told throughout the length and breadth of the country so people can be able to hear the contribution that you've made. She has a very rich story. A story that spoke to passion, development, persistence, tribulation, pressure, external pressure, this kind of an idea of being able to push forward, and conviction to stand. She spoke to reform and being the light bearer of sorts to be able to bring that to the forefront. Ms. Sheila Culmer, I want to be able to thank you for your contribution to this nation. I want to thank you to the contribution, especially for a community that is normally pushed aside, a community that we have become politically correct in being able to speak to, but still dismissive. Can I say that? Can we be very clear? And that is the disabled community. She spoke clearly about that and her commitment and passion to be able to assist with the Disabled Council. She's done a tremendous, and listen, when you hear the story for all those persons who've been in the forefront and in the thick of it here in the city of Nassau for a very long time, you may know the story, you may know the backstory, you may hear this, that, so forth and so on. But for me, with these proverbial virgin heirs that have a very clear understanding and can see something different, this blew my mind. And there are stories like this that I'd like to capture, especially in this year of our Jubilee. And I want to say that to you guys. I think that this is the time for me to be able to come sit up in your city, bring my crew. I got one little crew with me, right? We bring your cameras, bring your lights, or the whole thing, and sit with you and let you talk. I think that that's what I want to do, okay? And I'm going to need your support with that. I realize this, and I want to put a couple of things out there also. Sitting down with her yesterday, just sitting on a settee and having a conversation, two things came to mind. I said, my God, I feel like a politician. This is too much, right? But that's the first one, right? And then secondly, I said, my God, we cannot allow this generation to pass with the passion that exists in them still. She is some 70-some years old, and she still has a vitality. And every time she speaks about what she's done, talk to me, she does so with this passion that bubbles to the surface. You can feel it. She still has a desire to be able to help. It's still rich. It's still now. It's present in her. She's not speaking of anything in the past tense. Everything is still present. And so I'd like to be able to capture those stories. And I know there's a great deal of stories that exist out there. If your granddaddy or daddy or auntie, whatever the case may be, have these stories and they're still with us in mind and spirit and so forth and so on, and they're present in the moment, I'd like to do that, man. I'd like to do that. I gotta create a space for you to be comfortable enough to kind of text me and say, Howard, go check Uncle Brown, man. Uncle Brown did boom, 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 boom. These are the stories that needs to be told. It make no sense that you have 18 pages of obituary trying to tell people's story. Nobody reading that in the church. We come to cry. You wasting your time writing all these things. You only paying the funeral home more money to print this thing because nobody's going to read that. Let them tell their own stories. And let them do so in 4K. Talk to me. So somebody text me a item number and name and information and what they have done and the contribution that they've made. Maybe hit me with a couple clips or whatnot, and let me create a series, a Jubilee series for them. They may not necessarily be the politicians at the hilt of the matter and at the forefront of these things, but their story still matters for the development of this country. How am I talking? Am I making sense? Amen? Send me the information, 827-0111. That's for you. And don't cut off the radio and forget about what I'm saying to you. Send me the information. Unless you want Ace to do it, then that's a different story. You call Ace, this is Legends. And then you let Ace do it, right? But don't fight me, right? Nonetheless, it's all about capturing these stories and being able to put it out there. I thank you for that. I thank you for the opportunity for you to be able to give me the space to do that. Because, I realize that this is going to have to take a different form. This show, what we're doing here on this platform, is going to take a different course for me. It can't be that I'm coming here to have a conversation with you for 2 hours and then kind of slide out. The impact that we're making in the community in terms of being able to touch and deal with stories that really matter, we're going to have to find a way to be able to do that. And something came across my mind. And you tell me if I'm making sense. There are a tremendous amount of persons in our city that have fallen on hard times. There are a tremendous amount of persons, whether you be single mothers, whether you be single fathers, whether you just lost a loved one, whether you lost your house by fire, by arson, by theft, by bank repossession, whether it is your children are doing extremely well, and they need an opportunity to be able to get over with this, and this. Whether you're not able to, whatever it is, wherever you are, and you need to be able to get assistance to get out of this proverbial hole, I'd like to be able to hear your story. And I don't want to be able to place the emphasis on this about your individual issue, because for you, that may be the entire world on your shoulder. But take an example of what we're saying to you. With this mother who has the 9-year-old daughter, the entire community responded. You and your slip and fall. I won't be decent. Let me be decent, right? You who twist your ankle, right? Let me be decent. You're going to have to limp for a little while. You could be okay. Not in a bad way. I mean, like, you could be okay. But when these stories touch the heart of a community, the community responds. So if you have a story that, Howard, we heard some stories sometime back. Persons lost their house. We try to be able to assist with that. Persons lost a great deal of things. We try to assist with that. And so this is what it is. We want to be able to help in those areas. Okay? There's a lot of persons. There's some texts I get, and persons send me a little couple dollars here and there and so forth and so on. If you still want to be able to contribute, please hit me up, 827-0111, 827-0111. And by the end of this week, today we're going to make another contribution for what we received yesterday. I'm going to go to the bank after the studio, right? And by the end of this week, I'm hoping, based upon the pledges that we've got, that we can make another contribution. You guys, I want to say to you from the bottom of my heart that you touch me. I believe matters like this, they count. For the young lady at 9 years old, I had an opportunity to be able to speak with the doctor. I told you this yesterday. And she made a significant contribution. And she says, Howard, just be very quiet about this. You don't have to call my name. So I said, okay, no problem. And then she says to me, Howard, I got stick with a dirty needle. The needle had HIV. It's the doctor telling me. She said, and for me to be able to get stick with that, I had to do antibiotics and the blockers, the stuff that you're talking about, that for about 6 months. I said, that is crazy. She said, so the baby girl have some time to go. Let's just be very clear about this, okay? Let's be very clear about this. This is a 9-year-old baby girl we teach her to pray, to believe, to have faith, to move in a particular direction. These are Christian people. She's being taught about faith, about God, about alignment, about respect, about these particular things. And then this heinous, evil act happened to her. Sometimes it puts you in a position of questioning everything that you're learning. But I believe that she's old enough and the family is wise enough to be able to understand how we countered that by showing up for them. As a community, can only revive, restore, and remind that there is a God. Because I didn't ask anybody their faith or their position or none of that didn't matter. For you to be able to give, you recognize that there is something bigger than you. And I thank every single one of you for doing that. I really do. I thank every single one of you for taking the time out, money from your finances, from your family's finances, from your vacation fund, from your sweetheart fund. I don't know. I don't get your business, right? I'm not in your business. Whatever it is, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being able to put that in my hand, put that on the account, and me being able to transfer those funds over to the young lady. You guys are absolutely wonderful. I thank you, man. Thank you so very kindly. I have someone right here now that they want to be able to give me some little toys and stuff like that, right? Or something like that. She gets some stuff for the babies. She ain't want to talk on air, but we want to be able to bring those things to the forefront and talk about those also. Guys, the lines are wide open today. I want to talk a little bit more about politics. If you give me that space and place to do that. And talk about this perception that's coming at the forefront. And based upon the language, what are we preparing for? There is strong, united language and a united team behind Pintard as he speaks and say what our expectations are and the failures of the PLP. I want to talk a little bit more about that. Let me take this quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
Attention all beauty enthusiasts. Perfect Tone, your go-to destination for restorative skincare, is on the move. Famous for flawless results within 30 days, Perfect Tone is relocating to the shops of Southwest Carmichael Road. Now is the time to get the skin you've always dreamed of. Removing dark spots, acne and oily textured skin for good. For more information and updates, follow us on social media or visit our website at ptskincare.com.
Shavara Roca Enius, Chickchani Farms. I don't think I chose farming. I think farming chose me. Winning this award would definitely give us the funding that we need to start our farming season. Most persons who are in the agriculture field realize that at the start of the season, which is in the next couple of weeks, you do always need a bulk of cash. I think we have a great track record for the work that we've been doing in agriculture over the last 10 years. And so when I saw the opportunity for an award like this, I figured, you know what, I should just go ahead and enter.
The Agrarian Awards, September 16th.
We're good for you.
Shopping is so rewarding with my Fidelity credit card. I get the best prices with price protection. Earn and redeem Freedom Points at my favorite stores. Get cash back. Plus, I booked a cruise. Get your Fidelity credit card today. Call 356-7764.
The Grand Bahama News is available every Tuesday in the Nassau Guardian. Buy your local paper at Freeport Convenience Stores, Western Bakery, DeGregory's Fine Foods, and Bellevue Gifts. Want to reach your Grand Bahama customers? Then call Barefoot Marketing at 827-4578 or message them for ad rates via their Facebook page. Advertising opportunities now include classified ads too. Keep up with all the latest Grand Bahama news in the Nassau Guardian newspaper every Tuesday.
At Alive, we believe that every common loftier goal is within our reach. We believe in the essence of our identity, the richness of our history, and the boundless potential that lies within us. That's why our network is built by, owned by, and managed by us. Alive, believe in Bahamians. Visit bealive.com to take advantage of our Golden Independence deals. Alive, believe in best.
You've tried everything. ASUS with your mother's cousin's sister's auntie, and even hiding your money under your mattress. But is your money safe? Your Bahamian dollar deposit in a member bank or credit union is insured up to $50,000. If anything happens, your deposit up to the insured value will be returned to you thanks to Deposit Insurance. Visit Deposit Insurance Corporation at www.dic.bf.
Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
At Ron's Electric Motors, they repair and rewind all major brands of electric motors, including water pumps, generators, and the generator's back end, welding machines, electric lifts, air compressors, battery chargers, and more. They're equipped to handle up to 850 kilowatts and rewind up to 450 horsepower motors. They're conveniently located on the corner of Wolf and Clarence Roads and are open weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays till noon. They offer 24 hours emergency assistance. You can reach them at 242-356-0249.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, live and in full effect on this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous Tuesday afternoon. If you're out there, you want to be a part of the conversation, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the Family of Islands, 242-300-5720. Hit me up on the text, 422-4796. If you're checking me out, GuardianTalkRadio.com, GuardianTalkRadio.com, you can be able to see a beautiful bag, right? Little unicorn bag, got the little unicorn on there, pink, beautiful. Inside, you got a little socks for when your feet get cold in the hospital. You got a little Tom, little Scully. You got your crayons, right? You get your little crayons, your sharpener, your pencil, your sketchbook, your word pad, right? Your crayon book, the whole thing. The whole thing. I want to thank you so much for your consideration, man. I mean, I feel like y'all, well, I know you ain't doing this for me, But I'm so grateful to you guys, man. I want to tell you that. I am so thankful for your consideration. I mean, sometimes I try to craft my words so you could understand that this is just not the stereotypical, superficial thank you. This is really heartfelt. And I need you to understand that I'm really grateful for you doing this as a caveat through me to this family. That's it, just as a cat. That's all I am. I am the liaison that is to transfer. That is it. That is it. This is you're not doing this for me or my family. You're doing this for the family of the 9-year-old. And so, Miss Curly Heiler. Miss Curly Heiler, I want to thank you and your family and all those persons. Miss Heiler says to me, Howard, I know how this is. I was in the hospital when I was young during this particular time, and I know it can get very boring. I know it can get cold. I know it can do these things. So I wanted to give her something. And she did make a financial contribution also, and I want to thank Miss Heiler for that. So I want to thank you so much for your contribution, and I thank you so much for this nice little gift bag. I go to the hospital today, so I'm going to give this to the mother today, and she can be able to play with these things. Guys, I want to thank you, man. Y'all have been more than considerate. You've given it with your hearts, and I thank you so much for that. This is really touching. Thank you, man. I that's all I could say. I mean, I don't want to get teared up because, I can be soft about these things because babies don't deserve this. Babies didn't ask to be here. Society should have a very clear understanding because you should remember as a child the dreams that you had. You should remember as a child the ideas that you had and the possibilities that people keep speaking into your mind as you crafted yourself and as you grew and matured and developed. You knew that you wanted to do one thing or another. You got into something different. 9 years old, she just learned how to be able to color softer, color within the lines. She just learning these particular things, perfecting this, trying out the new cursive. Come on, man, you forget when you was a child? 9 years old don't deserve this, man. I hate to make all the shows about this, but this is weighing heavy on my heart. I remember when I was 9. I remember when I was 9. I remember the dreams and hopes that I had for tomorrow. I remember trying to ensure that I succeed. I remember spelling socks, S-O-X. And getting it wrong on my test, the little test that you take, your little test. And couldn't understand. I say, isn't a red sox spelled S-O-X? Because you're watching baseball at the time. I remember this developmental stage that I had. I remember learning Naughty Johnny and dancing and not being, did I do the maypole? I think I did the maypole thing. I remember the platinum maypole thing. 9 years old don't deserve this. So I want to thank each and every one of you for being able to contribute the way that you did. And if you're out there and you still want to be able to give, I would give. Now listen, I want to be decent. I would give you this lady's account directly, but I don't want everybody out here just because, it shows up, your name and everything shows up on there, right? So just let's be decent. And I will provide those things to her and give that. Guys, the lines are wide open. I want to talk about some stuff today. Yesterday I got a call, and I don't want to say that it bothered me, but I thought about it. And like I told you, I kind of go through these things in my head, trying to be able to weigh the pros and cons of it to find out whether or not there is any value in what's being said. And the validity, and trying to be able to determine whether or not I'm on this true true north, this course for transparency and growth. That's one of the things that I've asked myself. Yesterday, one of the guests called in, one of the callers called in to say, well, how would I think you're giving people your opinion? I thought it was kind of strange for him to say that. I really do think it's strange. This is what I went through yesterday after the show. Because, I'm always trying to be able to, strengthen what I do and give you this sort of a well-rounded show. So I went back over it in my head, and I was like, is my language leaning on one side or another? Where did he get that from? So I asked my wife, and I got a couple calls, and I asked those particular persons. And they said, okay, Howard, we don't understand where this guy was coming from yesterday. And so I asked myself, I said, where am I as it relates to being able to talk about national issues? Am I middle of the road? Or do I have a preconceived position socially? Do you believe, as a Grant, as a Red Man, 8 Mile Rock, automatically he's an F&M? Do you believe that? I mean, our society is set up in a particular manner. Do you believe, oh, he from Cat Island, he's a PLP? Do you, because our society is set up like that. Or the West End people, there's PLP. And so I asked myself this about whether or not I am neutral in my position to talk about what I'm seeing come down the pipeline in the country. And kind of deducing that to myself, I realized something. Be not dismayed and deterred. This is what I say to myself now. I got to be like David. I got to encourage myself because I do this. Be not dismayed and deterred. The enemy will say, and I say enemy because if you go contrary to certain person's position, then automatically you become a quote unquote enemy to them. Those persons who believe that you oppose their particular positions have persons on the payroll designed strategically to be able to reach out and stifle whatever is trying to be built in these spaces. And I ask myself, as a talk show host, because that's what he says. He says, as a talk show host, you're not supposed to do this, this, and this. And I thought it was peculiar because both pundits and talk show hosts have nothing to offer except their opinion on a matter based upon their exposure, their understanding of it. That's it. If you listen to Fox News, this is their strategic position based upon what they ingest. MSNBC, their liberal position based upon what they ingest. So they deliver to you in a particular manner. There are a tremendous amount of hosts that are here and in other spaces that each gives you a unique perspective and their position, how they see it. Is there any expectation that Howard Grant would be Steve McKinney? This is bananas. This is bananas. Is there any expectation that Howard Grant would be Rodney Munker? How? Why would you need Rodney Munker and Howard Grant if both of us are Rodney Munker? My point to you is that I can accept and understand that you don't agree with my position, but the reason we opened the the airwaves and the telephone lines rather, is for you to be able to counter that. And the only thing that I ask is that we do so in decency. That's it. I got tough enough skin that I can be able to take criticism. But if you don't have a position that we'll be calling for, I mean, you're wilding out to me. For me, you just wilding out. Now I can go back at this. Since yesterday's show and conversation, a great deal has come out. I've gotten some significant telephone calls, and I understand a few things. See, Alan, you did a great deal yesterday when you called in to talk about these particular steps and what you perceive, and how simultaneously what happened in the United States of America automatically saw something pop up at the same time here in the local market. And our Prime Minister has taken on a position to talk about it. So let's touch it. In today's newspaper, the top business is talking about it. It says Prime Minister says that the FTX collapse challenging, but touts regulatory system. The collapse of the cryptocurrency exchange FTX was challenging experience, the Prime Minister Philip Davis told the Trinidad and Tobago Coalition of Service Industries on Friday, as he touted the Bahamas' evolving framework on digital assets. Davis was in Trinidad last week where he spoke to the coalition about digital assets and use cases. He explained that the collapse of the Bahamas headquartered FTX occurred despite the great lengths the country went through to build regulations. He further contended that those regulations proved strong enough to cause action to be taken against FTX quickly. He still encounters some difficulties, most notably those related to FTX. This is the story. Make sure you pick up your Guardian newspaper and you dive into the business section, and you can see that as they go and be able to kind of unveil it, and you unravel that yourself to see exactly what's going on. Now, I thought this was unique because it's not just the collapse of FTX. Sam Bankman-Fried is in federal custody. He was initially on house arrest in his mother's home, in his parents' home. Now he is in the custody of the feds. That's an entirely different can of worms. And it can mean that what was once held close to the vest, for the purposes of being able to alleviate a lengthy period to serve, hypothetically, just to say he get 15 years. But if you cooperate and you provide transparent information for this, and this, then you can see a reduction in that particular service, in those years that you have to serve. This is wild. Perceived corruption is continuing to climb in this country. And this New Day administration is leading to a great deal of social speculation. Why this? Why that? Why the next thing? Somebody talk to me. Lines are wide open. Based upon this social speculation, we're now trying to craft a narrative in our mind to understand why prorogue the House of Assembly. And the fragmented information that we keep picking up on this journey, like Hansel and Gretel, right? The little breadcrumbs that the PLP is dropping as they move towards it, trying to find their way back, obviously. We pick it up and trying to piece together this picture to understand what this administration is doing. Now, keep in mind, this is the exact same PLP that has already had a social stain that this is a party steeped in corruption. Somebody talk to me. Now, I didn't say that. I just come along as a Johnny come lately. This is the language that they have been speaking of the PLP for the past generation. An organization that is almost 70 years old? For the past 40-some years, I venture to say, since 1977, I venture to say, 4 years after the independence that we all celebrated, and stepping into our liberty, the PLP has been stained year after year with some concept idea of corruption. Right down to 1987. Somebody talk to me. The elections of 87 that spoke to the fact that this is why the indelible ink needed to be used. All the stories these old fellas tell me about in the hotel, this and that, they set this up and they stole this election. And so whether, these are only allegations, social allegations. But Grammy tell me the fire ain't too far from the smoke. Now, I say all that to say that this New Day administration, despite the rhythm of one party to another, one party to another, one party to another, that we've been going through for the past 20-some years, 23 years, let's be very clear. 21 years, let's be very clear. Despite that rhythm that we've been going through since 2002, the PLP has been given an opportunity, even though they did not have a majority of the populace vote. They've been given an opportunity on this New Day administration. And the New Day administration is showing itself not to have the strength of transparency that they spoke of. Keith Bell's issue keep coming to the forefront. And the FNM, recognizing that this is an issue that they can all fall behind, they created a concept that I like to call hack-a-shack. While as former prime minister, ministers all over the place having this conversation, quietly identifying persons to agitate for him to get back in a particular position, I told you, I got a telephone call and said, don't worry about that, he's going to fall in line. I said, well, I'd like to see that. Less than 2 weeks later, I see language shift. And then he got on this kind of a immigration issue. I said, whoa. This can't be the same prime minister who was having different. He was having a meeting in Garden Hill. The next one was having a meeting someplace else. I said, something going on here. So I'm watching it. I'm watching the thing. And then Michael Pintard went deep, heavy, hard to talk about immigration. And they unearthed former cabinet minister Ellsworth Johnson to be able to speak about those particular matters. These are 3 men on one. It's hack-a-shack. And as a result of hack-a-shack, simultaneously being able to knock at one issue after another, having town halls, I say, oh my God. The only time I've ever seen the Free National Movement get in line, watch me, somebody talk to me. The only time I've ever seen the Free National Movement get in line from 2012, let's do that. Let's be decent. Can't say 2007, because everybody in line when Hubert Ingram in the House. From 2012, the only time we've seen the Free National Movement get in line is when they're preparing to move towards a general election. Everybody ducks in a row with the determination to be able to move in a particular direction. One course, one language, one focus. And that's what we're seeing now. So when I say to you, based upon the board, the chess board, based upon these elements that I see here, it could be that we're moving toward, somebody talk to me, a by-election. Michael Pintard yesterday took on a very strong position. You heard it in the news clip. Michael Pintard taking a very strong position to talk about the fact that it is time. It is time for the PLP to do something. They failed. They've done horrible during this tenure. Man, listen to me. This is heavy. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that the PLP, based upon what I'm seeing now, it could be that they've lost the next general election. Somebody talk to me. It may be too early to say. I didn't think that this would happen. But if you're leading all this social speculation and everyone is picking up your crumbs as you move towards this perceived candy house, 2026, we're looking at what you're dropping and we're saying, this don't make no sense. I am absolutely confused and I need clarity on this. Somebody give me clarity. I know you guys are legal and political minds that you can assist. I need clarity as to why you would prorogue the House of Assembly and introduce the exact same bills, save the introduction of 1 or 2. Why? Why prorogue the House of Assembly and do that? Why prorogue the House of Assembly to potentially shuffle the cabinet? Why prorogue the House of Assembly for any of these things? There is something afoot. Please be a part of the conversation. 323-6232, 325-431-6325, 4259. Anywhere from the Family of Violence, 242-300-5720, or you can hit me up, 422-4796. I listen to these guys talk about trash about the government. I am trying to figure out which country they live in. I'm on the streets every day, and I've never seen things so prosperous. I think the PM is doing a great job. Which streets you live on? You are wilding out. We have a whole story here about a 9-year-old who just got raped. Come on, man. I don't understand what y'all are saying. I mean, what kind of contradiction? Are you so steeped in your politics that you just would say anything? Should I say your number also so they could make sure to put that on your account? You are wilding out. Where you live? Talk to me about it. Be BPL is in the newspaper talking to us about explaining the woes. See what they're doing? They ain't fixing the woes. They're explaining the woes of the Station A plant. This is what's in the paper right now. And you telling me where these people... Oh, my God. Let's see read the next one. He says, if you harm a kid, you get locked up. I get locked up. If you go to prison, I go to prison. I have no faith in the Bahamian justice system. I will get my justice in their jail or their prison for my kids. I will bring all the smoke. This is a text that's coming through. You're wild enough today. You can take it a little bit over the line. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Grant, how you doing?
I'm good, man. What's happening with you?
Yes, sir. Something really went wrong, man, because okay, allegedly, I'll say allegedly.
Okay.
How could at the same time you have 3 or 4 MPs been caught up in a snare? So, I mean, allegedly something went wrong. I'll hang up, you know.
I appreciate your telephone call. What you saying? Something gone wrong for 3 MPs to be caught up in the snare. But when the spider make the web, talk to me. Talk to me. He trying to catch as much fly as possible. And for those who just wild and not being able to focus on where they're going, you can end up in the web. Let's take a next telephone call. Calling you on the line with this live, go ahead. Calling you on the line with this live, go ahead. Next caller. Calling you on the line with this live, go ahead.
Hey, good day, Howard.
Hello, my dear. What's happening with you?
Fine, thank you. I'm supposed to pass by you today. Hopefully I'll catch you before you leave the studio.
Okay, no problem.
Listen, I am of the opinion that they prorogued the House, and they did it for such a long stretch of time to allow for the smoke to die down.
That's campaigning time.
So, you know, after all of the immigration foolishness and the Abaco MP Prime Minister man foolishness and the Ministry of Wigs foolishness going on right now, and the BPL, BEC thingy, I think they're finding that the seat is hotter than expected, you know, because you can't come outside. The sun go burn you. So they go back inside and they're getting burned from inside. So now here it is. They try to find something to cool the temperature somewhat. You know, they buy themselves on short air condition to cool the temperature. And hopefully they think that us, the Bahamian people, would forget. So when they come back, they are going to say, oh, well, we don't finish with that. Okay, we don't. They answer the question to begin with. And I'm hoping that you guys have the same questions waiting for when they go back into the House to start all over again with the same questions, because this is a ploy to allow the smoke to die down. That's how I see it.
I appreciate your telephone call, my dear. I hope this smoke thick. I'm from Grand Bahama. When you drive, if there's a bushfire in the pine yard and you got to drive through that thick, all your eye burning. I come from Anglican church. You smell like smoke for a long time, all your clothes. My point to you is that this ain't going to die down. You got to wash this clean. Guys, we here live and in full effect. Be a part of the conversation. The Foundation with Howard Grant. We're going to take this commercial break, go to news, and be right back after this.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
Okay, school bag, books, pencils, uniform. Oh, Lord. And I gotta buy snacks, too?
Just lay it on the line.
The Guardian Media Group and AML Foods want to help families in need with our first ever Back to School Snackathon. What's a snackathon? Well, we want to help by assisting in donating school snacks to children that may need them as they head back to school this year. To be a part of our snackathon, all you have to do is shop at your favorite Solomon Superstore or Fresh Market. At the store, you can donate your pre-existing loyalty points, or you can donate cash directly at the register. Every single penny will go towards purchasing snacks that will be donated for distribution by the Bahamas Feeding Network and Hands for Hunger. Together, we can ensure that every child that opens their backpack this year will have a snack and a smile.
Get involved, get involved. Get involved,
Grab your camera, capture the spirit of the Bahamas, and win cash and prizes. Scotiabank, in partnership with the Guardian Media Group, invites all youth, amateur, and professional photographers to enter the Celebrate Bahamas 50 photography competition, being held under the theme One Nation, One Legacy, Our Future. With more than $8,000 in cash to be won, snap those photos and send them in by August 30th. Visit GuardianTalkRadio.com or bs.scotiabank.com to find out how to enter. Let's celebrate our proud nation in photos. Terms and conditions apply.
At Ron's Electric Motors, they repair and rewind all major brands of electric motors, including water pumps, generators and the generator's back end, welding machines, electric lifts, air compressors, battery chargers, and more. They're equipped to handle up to 850 kilowatts and rewind up to 450 horsepower motors. They're conveniently located on the corner of Wolf and Clarence Roads and are open weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays till noon. They offer 24 hours emergency assistance. You can reach them at 242-356-0249.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Grab your camera, capture the spirit of the Bahamas, and win cash and prizes. Scotiabank, in partnership with the Guardian Media Group, invites all youth, amateur, and professional photographers to enter the Celebrate Bahamas 50 photography competition, being held under the theme One Nation, One Legacy, Our Future. With more than $8,000 in cash to be won, snap those photos and send them in by August 30th. Visit GuardianTalkRadio.com or bs.scotiabank.com to find out how to enter. Let's celebrate our proud nation in photos. Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, school bag, books, pencils, uniform. Oh, Lord. And I gotta buy snacks, too?
Just lay it on the line.
The Guardian Media Group and AML Foods want to help families in need with our first ever Back to School Snackathon. What's a snackathon? Well, we want to help by assisting in donating school snacks to children that may need them as they head back to school this year. To be a part of our snackathon, all you have to do is shop at your favorite Solomon Superstore or Fresh Market. At the store, you can donate your pre-existing loyalty points, or you can donate cash directly at the register. Every single penny will go towards purchasing snacks that will be donated for distribution by the Bahamas Feeding Network and Hands for Hunger. Together, we can ensure that every child that opens their backpack this year will have a snack and a smile.
Get involved, get involved. Get involved, get involved.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation. The foundation. Foundation. The foundation. Foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant and your company, The Foundation, on this absolutely gorgeous, beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Really being able to chop it down with you here live and in full effect. Please give me a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Anywhere from the family violence, 242-300-5720, or you can hit me up at 422-4796. The parents of the parents of a 2-year-old boy who died on Saturday have been charged with manslaughter by negligence. This is some information that's coming through. Now, listen, I want to be able to read a few of these things to you because I looked at that, right? And I'm indifferent with a lot of things that's happening. Also, I want to play a little clip for you, and I want to be able to read something again. Right now, this is from Eyewitness News just 31 minutes ago, and so I just want to be able to play this.
Of the legislation that really needed to be expanded upon and reformed. So what we're looking to do is do a repeal and replace of that piece of legislation in the new legislative agenda that would bolster the economic development zones component of that bill or that act, but then get rid of the automatic granting of work permits and the employment aspects of it that are objectionable to us. So it is on our horizon. We just looked at it. Instead of doing a full repeal, we're taking a more progressive approach on it.
I wanted to touch that with you and make you to understand that there is for me, and I just want to be like this because I need to understand with full transparency what's happening out here. I'm a Bahamian citizen. We pay taxes. We do our whole thing. We're here living. And this is what I do professionally. I just need to have a very clear understanding of what we're talking about. The PLP has taken on a position, prorogued the House of Assembly, came to us, said that they're going to be able to reintroduce the exact same things that are on the table in the House of Assembly, introduce a few things more, and as they come now, we're seeing bits and pieces of modifications that are going to make, which is peculiar. The Commercial Enterprise Act, which was initially the Commercial Enterprise Bill, afforded an opportunity for foreigners to be able to come in, and if they didn't get taken care of within 2 weeks, automatically they were granted the permits to be able to do what they had to do. Okay, so you made modifications to that. Okay, good. So you repeal and replace. There's an expectation that we see stop, review, and cancel. Going back to your charter for change, talk to me. To your blueprint for change. See right here, I got it right in my hand. Our blueprint for change. Start to talk about rescuing the economy. 1, economic reforms. Immediately begin comprehensive review of the taxation regime in the Bahamas. Reduce VAT to 10%, additional VAT relief. Transform the tax system to make it more equitable and progressive and to encourage national growth and prosperity. Create a model for international infrastructure funds and private sector participation through public-private partnership for infrastructure facilities and air and sea ports. This information. Stabilize finances. Financial responsibility, debt management, Bahamas investment, right? Refocus Bahamas Investment Authority, attract foreign direct investment. Come on now. Enhance Bahamas investment, fast track and promote new model on foreign direct and domestic investment. Establish an investment compliance unit to ensure that the international investors comply with all their obligations under the statute and heads of agreement. Expand the role of the Bahamas investment to include the Domestic Investment Board to support this. This is what I'm reading out of their book, out of the PLP's book. Partner with international organizations in business, culture, tourism, educational, and humanitarian exchanges. Implement a comprehensive, robust residency by investment. Everything that you talk about investment speaks to expedience, speak to immediate relationships. But when you come on after you decided to prorogue the House of Assembly, it is about stifling. I'm absolutely confused. I just don't understand. I'm absolutely confused. And I do not believe that there will be transparency in this matter. I got a text just now. I want to be able to read this text for you. Guys, please give me a text. 422-4796. I can read you a text right now. But let me read this text here. It's sent to 827. So I'm going to be able to read it. So it says, Howard. Where is it? Where did it go? Hold up. Y'all don't fight me. It's right here. Mr. Grant, this is a very simple process. The PLP is setting a new agenda, putting in a new Governor General, and might make a cabinet shuffle. That is all. That can be all. That cannot be all. This New Day administration has had significant hiccups with what is happening internally, and it is spilling out unlike what we've seen and what we know of the PLP of the past. I don't care how much social media available. I should never get this much information of what's going on within your camp. And it's not just spilling out on social media in those small pockets. It's coming in national news. That means that you're tarnishing the New Day representation and this sort of a position that you have for the future. That the annals of time and history would say that you did not perform the way that you were supposed to, simply because we know human beings in there, so you get space for error. But you don't even have that kind of a ironclad grip, that grip within your organization to keep your information internal. What we're seeing came out of immigration, you need to reform. Someone talk to me about it. Let's be very clear. What has happened in North Abaco from a political standpoint and a social standpoint, you need to immediately distance yourself. You need to distance. If you want to be an independent MP, that's fine. The PLP organization cannot be seen to attach itself to these allegations, this perception, and now charged in front of the courts. This cannot be a New Day administration. The organization cannot be seen to be favored in one way or another. So for you to say to me that this is only about introducing a new GG, Governor General, and possibly being able to shuffle cabinet, that doesn't make any sense to me. Our Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis, is a senior man. Senior man. We have seen him during a time when on the weekend, on Friday evening, we go to bed with one thing. By time a Sunday evening come, the cabinet shuffle. We've seen that. And you know we've seen that. So don't say that he hasn't seen these things or he doesn't know these things. Don't say that. And don't give me this sort of a simplistic dismissal. Oh, well, that's all we doing, man. You're looking in too hard at this thing. No. You need to change this. There needs to be reform. There needs to be proactivity and productivity in certain spaces and places. Can I say that? There needs to be. Or else you will not make it to 2026. And all this socially structuring and deciphering and deciding and identifying and strategically moving persons and so forth and so on, and being able to pull people within your fold, all of that would be to naught if you don't do what's needed now. Right now, society's looking at you and saying the PLP does not have the conviction to make this decision. They don't. They don't have the conviction to do that. When we saw what happened with Gregory Morse, with the allegations, you remember the allegations about spending and this and that and all these things? They tried to distance themselves from him. You remember this? You remember this? Is it only me when you remember this? Is it only me? And Greg vehemently defended himself and stood strong and decided to be able to separate. Do you remember this? The party never showed conviction to make these decisions. They make you extremely uncomfortable until you decide to separate. The party needs to show conviction. And if you are being able to change the language, like the Minister of Foreign Affairs would have been able to say to us years ago during the time of, right after they came from the Vatican, that we're going to have to amalgamate and shift with global views. Well, globally, the view of corruption is what needs to be eradicated now. So will your political organization shift with that global view? The eradication of corruption? And don't believe that the FNM is free and willy-nilly and out here on its own. There are some things that you need to deal with in your organization also. I don't think anybody's being transparent here. You're using the people, Bahamian people, as fools. You think we fool. This is not our first time to the rodeo. We've been on this ride before. And all you have to do is be transparent. That's it. I got a call from somebody who was supposed to do something, right? From a business perspective. And they were supposed to send some stuff. And they said, well, you know, Howard, this and that and all these things they're giving me. But I've already seen it. I know what happened. I know what happened. And they listened. I know what happened. I know what happened. And I'm only waiting for you to say, Howard, this has happened. You see, because juggernauts of yesteryear would tell you to lie, to jive, and to buy time. But transparency would afford you grace and fortify your relationship for the future. If you jive us, you could never expect us to find allegiance going forward. All the PLP needs to do is be transparent and come to the forefront and have this conversation. Guys, the lines are wide open and the telephone calls are here. Let me see if I can read a few of these. So it says, in all your talking, the COI started exposing issues before Pintard jumped on the issues and no one interested in the F&M on the PLP anymore. Okay, I'm not going to fight you. We need somebody like Mark or who looks like Mark to run this nation. Where's Pop Simonet or Brent? Plus the UBP comeback. What? Okay, I'm not going to fight you. I'm going to read it, right? So it says, good day, Howard. The reason for producing the house, I suppose that's Perogan. Let me read it. The reason for producing the house was because Mother Pratt told him to clean up his house or she would not accept the Governor General's position. Can I say this to y'all? I love what I do. And I love this space that you give me to talk like this. And like I say, this is what is coming out of my head, and all you have to do is give me a call and say, Howard, that don't go like that. That's no problem. You saw the names that we had to come down the pipeline for Governor General. The concepts or the ideas of those particular persons. Let's name them. Rudy Ann Darling. Right? Rudy Ann Cooper Darling. That's one. Bishop Neil Ellis. That's two. Cynthia Pratt. Mother Cynthia Pratt. These are the names that I heard that came to the forefront. That's three. Who's the fourth? Was it Perry Christie? I think Perry Christie was on the list. Former Prime Minister Perry Christie. Right? And if I stand to be corrected, that last name, oh God, I can't remember the fifth name. Was it George Smith? I can't remember the last name. But anyway, let's just break this down. Let's break it down. The Governor General's position for the past 3 decades has been a position that you get not necessarily as your allegiance to nationalism, but your allegiance to your political organization. Can we do that? Your allegiance and proximity to power and your commitment to that political organization over the years, your age, so forth and so on, has afforded persons to gravitate towards that. The Governor General's position has not been a position of great conviction for a very long time. I think Milo Butler, right? Orville Turnquest. These are men of great conviction, and we knew that they had significant contributions as it relates to what's happening in terms of steering the country in a particular direction. We know that. I'm sure I'm leaving out maybe 2 names for Governor Generals that I see. Everyone else falls in line as it relates to their commitment to their political organization and genuflecting to the will of the Prime Minister. Bishop Neil Ellis will not do that. He won't. I know Bishop well enough to know that he won't. I know that his creativity, his passion, his desire, his national perspective, his view, his idea about the tradition that exists within politics and how to be able to keep these things in line, he will lend suggestions as to what would happen. This PLP organization knows that also. This Prime Minister knows that he knows that. He knows that. That you can put Bishop there and he can say, well, I don't think that make any sense. Well, God tell me that don't make no sense. Talk to me. So now, the proverbial head, which was really supposed to be the tail, wagging the body. You understand? Bishop Neil Ellis? No. Ruby Ann Cooper Darling. relentlessly committed to her convictions, her position, her community involvement, her desire to be able to speak with one language consistently over the course of time. And being able to put her in these strategic positions, that she will do the exact same thing that Bishop Neil Ellis does. They are impassioned, opinionated, and convicted. Not good for politics. Not for this particular position. Cynthia Mother Pratt, she holds the exact same positions. However, when exposed to opportunities like this prior, she fell in line. Do you remember? And this is just me being decent. Do you remember when former Prime Minister Perry Christie didn't feel well? This was in 2000, from 2002 to 2007. As a deputy prime minister, former Prime Minister Perry Christie fell ill. Do you remember this? And newscast information came out that he spoke with the then leader of the opposition, who would be Hubert Alexander Ingram, and said to Ingram, if anything were to happen to me, entirely superseding the deputy prime minister. Can you remember this? Cynthia Mother Pratt plays her position, and she does so well. She's superb for this job, because that's what the job requires. This New Day agenda has not steered us out of this troubled water just yet. And there's no need to have any more internal turbulence. And when I say turbulence, I don't mean contrary to the convictions of those individuals. I mean turbulence contrary to the convictions or the desire of the political organization. The lines are open. Let me take a telephone call. Calling on the line with us live. Go ahead.
That's me right, Howard?
Yeah, what's happening, Papa?
Thank God for life. How you doing today?
Everything good.
You happy to hear my voice?
Good. Papa, you wilding out right now.
Yeah, it's bananas.
Go ahead.
Oh, monkey, bananas, something. You was talking about so much different points you was touching. When I was holding, I almost forget what I say, but I had to call back anyhow to see if you might have, how you feel about it and stuff like that. You was talking about the white man and stuff like that, right?
Which white man?
Huh?
Who you mean?
I don't know if you mentioned Brand Seminate or something. Or
No. I read a text. Somebody was saying that the CEO of the UBP should come back.
How you feel about that, Howard? I mean, you get a lot of history. I know your parents and your people them tell you how it was back in the UBP days. You kept staff with and stuff like that. I mean, it's a different generation today. But you think we need to maybe give the white man a try? Some of them people like a Brent Seminate, who has proven himself as a strong business person, own the bank.
Papa, how I structure my question? You just want me to say things that you want me to say, but I have to structure it how I know.
Tell me how to structure it, and then
no. I can tell you what I say. Let me tell you what I think.
Howard, let's be fair. If I let you, if you tell me how to ask the question.
No. I can answer your question, but I only can answer it the way my mind tells me how to answer it.
Okay, I want to say something else. Go ahead, Howard.
Go ahead. Now, I want to say this. This time that we live in this world,
yes, sir.
No one sees color anymore. No, color for the reasons of having children. I won't say procreation, but for the reasons of having children.
Yeah.
If you want to be able to retain a particular bloodline, then you go look for someone who you're looking for.
But you mean like how I hear you mention the other day, you say, I get white friends. So I say, Howard really believe he white because he get a little. Howard is a black man.
But I never said I always been a black. I a black man.
I know I didn't hear you say about. You just was mentioning one text that I get white friends too. I say, Howard.
Papa, I think you take a lot of what I say out of context. I said the other day, it reminds me of when people say, well, I have a black friend, right?
Oh.
Yeah, but nothing.
Oh.
Anyway,
you almost sound like Warren McCarthy one time. He was talking about people saying he white, and I had to call in and tell him, say, but he won.
No, that ain't what happened there, right? So let me say this. Mm-hmm. For the purposes of the time that we live in, no one sees color anymore. People only could see productivity, they could see purpose, they could see passion, they see love.
With you. It should be that way, but it ain't, especially in the Bahamas. If it was that way like you saying, we'd have done put Brent Seminate or white man or white. Let's make it simple. Not just a woman, but let's say a white woman. We'd have done do that if color was in a factor in this country.
Let's be very clear about this. The very first appointment that was made under this New Day administration was Ryan Pindo.
You know, somebody vote for Ryan, brother?
Hey, that don't matter. I ask you
listen,
that.
come on now. You ain't have to be. We say on the
No,
street,
but that don't matter.
On the street, we say, don't be stink with me.
No.
Just now,
The
you was talking about being able
PLP,
to
the
elect
very
a white
first.
man.
No.
We were talking about appointing a white man, electing a white man. So we should give them a chance.
Okay.
You agree?
Okay, socially, you may not agree with what's happening. Socially, within your constituency, you may not see people gravitating towards that, voting for a white man, generally. However, this administration, this PLP administration, the first appointment that they had, the very first one that is sworn in, was Ryan Pinder.
I agree with you. That's a fact.
That
but we
means,
were talking about electing. We wasn't talking about appointing.
Hold on.
And we're talking about leadership. We're talking about running the country as prime minister. We're talking
Papa,
about giving, rather than doing the same thing what we've been doing all of these years, over and over again, and feel like they ain't getting nowhere.
Papa,
we should maybe give either
all the laws of the land, how you go, where you go, what you do, what's going to be good, not what's going to be stopped, review, cancel, goes to Ryan Pinder office.
Really into Ryan Pinder. Listen,
it don't matter. The PLP saw that he's leadership quality and material, and they placed him in a position. So to your point, the country don't have to see that yet. They're going to eventually gravitate towards it. The PLP
you're saying you believe that Ryan Pinder is possible could be a leader in this country?
Ryan Pinder is sitting in the seat of leadership in the country. I don't know what you're saying.
But we got to vote for him. He appointed. We talking about prime minister. You don't appoint a prime minister? We talking about trying something different than what we've been trying over the years. We never let a woman run be in charge as prime minister. Vote for we don't vote for prime ministers, but as a leader of a party or whatever. I just saying that if you think we reach the stage of maybe giving a woman an opportunity to run this country as a prime minister, or maybe a white man who we've been running from all of these years, just trying the same old thing over and over, dealing with our same color skin, and they ain't getting nowhere.
Papa.
Yes, sir?
The only thing I'm hearing from your conversation is that you're looking for an answer externally, outside of you. The answer is not outside of you. The answer exists within you.
Yes.
You have to make better decisions for Papa.
Yes.
Which is going to be better decisions for Nassau Village, which is going to be better decisions for the country. Okay? Because the fact of the matter is, watch me, Papa. I can get in your business that I can come out quickly.
No, don't do that, because me and you, don't do that.
Only can be a dip my toe in it, and that's it.
You want me to respect you, and I won't.
I ain't gonna diss you. I'm just trying to be decent.
Me, so don't go. Don't
I'm saying to you, your commitment that you made in Nassau Village, now being able to have the representation you have, which is also supporting the PLP, is now a commitment that you're saying, I'd like to see some different things happen within the organization. There are a lot of people calling the radio station saying, Howard, why are you talking about the COI? Howard, why are you talking about the DNA? Howard, why are you talking about independent or third-party members? But I don't necessarily see things in that particular light. I don't think that just because you show up that I should be able to give you a chance. I don't think just because you're white, I should be able to give you a chance. That's what I'm saying. I don't see color. I only see productivity, I see purpose, and I see passion.
When I say things to you, always have something either funny to say, right? Check this out. To what you say just now, right? If not you, this ain't about Howard, generally speaking. If you don't see color, right? Not Howard, generally speaking. If you don't see color, right? Then what you saying is that nothing wrong with us trying a white man or female. We been dealing with the black people, dealing with our same color skin and getting treated this way, straight through.
Yeah, but your color skin don't make people treat you in a particular, that's their mindset, Papa. That's people indecent whether they rapping white or black.
So how would you saying these guys indecent the way, the foolish, dumb decision they make? I know
that's
you guys
all it is,
might
Papa.
be strong and tell you the way I feel about
that's all it is, Papa. That's indecency. They rap whatever color the Christmas gift rapping.
But we get these people our same color mistreating us.
Well then, so
making some
you got to make a decision.
Decision on our behalf. Look at the hedging to BPL. That decision.
But this is a decision.
Triple light bill. Our light bill triple now. Because of the decision.
In 2002, watch me. In 2002, when the Free National Movement aligned itself, Hubert Ingram and Brent Simonet, the PLP came on the stage in Grand Bahama and say, "Y'all ready for salt and pepper? Y'all want?" This is the language that they speak.
Yeah.
But then, fast forward 21 years, the very first appointment they make is a white man.
That ain't nothing, man. Howard, ain't nobody
Man,
checking for
Papa,
that.
man, I just try to be
I
decent with you. Things change, people change,
try to
time
be decent
change.
with you too. To tell you, say, in spite of things change, ain't nobody on riot pin to run. No one voted for me being appointed. When we talking about leadership and run the government, we talking about who the Bahamian people put their trust in.
But Papa, I want to say this to you, and then I gotta let you go. Leadership ain't only the head. You only looking at one man as leadership. He could never be able to execute what he need to by himself. You need a team. You need a team.
It starts and begins with the leader. It starts
Listen.
and it ends and it begins with the leader.
Brave
Yesterday, I
Davis
telling
was
you
a
before
part
you
of a
cut-
team
Howard,
before he
yes.
came in.
Yeah, I agree. Howard, I was telling you yesterday that from listening to you, it really sounds like Mr. Davis, Prime Minister Davis, needs a second term. It sounds like they cannot or
From
they
listening
don't
to me,
want
Papa,
to.
you wilding
They
out.
don't want to. They can't finish or they don't want to finish the things what they really would like to do. So it sounds like they want a second. But how would it?
From listening to me,
Huh?
you saying that I'm agitating for another term for the people?
No, I didn't say that. Howard. I said yesterday. I said yesterday, listening to you,
Okay.
saying the things we need to do, and that Howard, man, go check your tapes, you know. When you done talk to me in the daytime, go check your tapes, because many times I be telling you things, only what I hear you say out your mouth. You understand? So the leadership, they might want to do a second amendment, but him one can't do it because, I mean, if the people vote or all the people that we get running, and him one be there, he won't even be the prime minister. So we need a team effort. We need everybody to. I just think we need to stop being scared of the white man or the females as leadership in this country and try something. Not because they show up, Howard, because they prove themselves. What you mean show up? Brent Semedo own a bank. He fix all the road. He could build a couple of bridges to go to Andrews and different things to him. Don't care who win the government. The PLP and there for them is make sure Brent Semedo company them straight. So why we can't give him a chance or give someone like him a chance? It ain't about him being scared of the booger man, the white man, but don't give a woman a chance. And these guys, the movie giving a chance to screwing up.
I appreciate you, man, Papa, man. Thank you so much for your telephone call. I don't know. I mean, I may be from a different. I may be from a different thing. I don't know. I don't see things like that. I don't. I could give you all manner of examples of how it's more important to me to see passion, purpose, and productivity than just to be able to pick superficially. I don't do that. I don't. Even the conversations that we have, I never cherry pick and just hit the top of the surface. I always try to take it a little deeper. Let's dive deeper into it when we get back right after this.
The foundation.
It's Whopper Wednesday every Wednesday at Burger King Nassau. Make your Wednesday sizzle and sink your teeth into a flame-grilled beef patty topped with tomatoes, fresh-cut lettuce, mayo, pickles, ketchup, and sliced onions, all on a toasted sesame seed bun with fries for only $5.95, including VAT. This Whopper Wednesday, grab a friend and head down to your favorite BK Nassau location for a flame-grilled Whopper made your way with crisp fries for only $5.95. Burger King Nassau, where taste is king.
Let me ask you a few questions. What's your name?
Pam.
Favorite food?
Steak.
Beer or wine?
Wine.
Is your money safe?
It's under my beds, I guess so.
Are you serious?
Yeah, why?
Unless your money is in a bank or credit union that's a member of the Deposit Insurance Corporation, there's no guarantee it's safe.
Yeah, but what if something happens to the bank?
Your Bahamian dollar deposits are insured up to $50,000, so you'd still be ahead. Plus, your mattress might catch fire. Then what?
Man, those banks and credit unions are looking good right about now.
Visit the DIC's website at www.dic.bs. Protection for your money guaranteed with DIC.
At Ron's Electric Motors, they repair and rewind all major brands of electric motors, including water pumps, generators, and the generator's back end, welding machines, electric lifts, air compressors, battery chargers, and more. They're equipped to handle up to 850 kilowatts and rewind up to 450 horsepower motors. They're conveniently located on the corner of Wolf and Clarence Roads and are open weekdays 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturdays till noon. They offer 24 hours emergency assistance. You can reach them at on 242-356-0249.
Farmers everywhere, fishermen here and there. The Ministry of Agriculture, Marine Resources, and Family Island Affairs now has 30 services available online. Apply for your agriculture farmland lease, farmer's registration and license, and crawfish trapping permits online. All kinds of duty-free and import permits are now just a click away. Visit mygateway.gov.bs and grow your business today. My Gateway, making government work for you.
Foundation. Foundation. The foundation.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, 96.9 FM radio. Howard Grant, the foundation, chopping it down. The lines are wide open, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259, anywhere from the family of islands, 242-300-5720, 422-4796 on the text. Let me read the next text. It says, Real talk, Howard, if I have to be a slave, where did this come from today? Huh? Did you watch Roots last night? Where did this did give us free? Where did this come from today? This is wilding out today. But anyway, I'm gonna read it, right? So it says, if I have to be a slave, I'd rather be a slave under a white man than under a Negro. Give me a Simonet any day, because black Bahamians act like they had it so bad under the UBP. If whites wanted to only whites, then there's stores that would be wrong with that. Nothing would be wrong with that. They paid for their license so they can pick, choose, and refuse. You want it? I can't read no more of this. You got at least 6 more sentences. I can't read no more of that. I don't understand what you're saying. I live in 2023. I live in 2023, and I'm not afraid of the boogeyman. I'm not afraid of the stories that were told to me about what the white man did to me yesterday. I could care less about that. I do not care about that. That doesn't affect me and my now in any way. What I'm afraid of is what my black brethren has learned and amplified from yesteryear. That's what I'm afraid of. The stories that I've heard had to do with a time that we lived in. But what I experienced has to do with a mindset. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't care what, you could be beige, off black, sunburnt orange. You could be red like a lobster. I don't care. You could be a whole alien out here, forest green. No one cares. I don't care. Our concern is social productivity. Amplified concept and idea for community. Care and concern to be able to apply yourself to the constitutional growth and development of the country. You are wilding out if you believe that just because you wrapped in a particular gift wrapping, that's going to make the present better. You ever see that around Christmas time, people wrapping these boxes up, you open up the box, you unravel the box, and you say, oh my God, PlayStation, I wanted one of these. Then you open up the box and nothing in that. That's what happened to these people. You wrapped up and consumed with the superficial. Well, what you see on the surface, these people have no substance. White, black, beige, off green. It don't matter. You have to look for substance. And the only way you can do that is with conviction, is with this very clear understanding of knowing who you are. So you could gauge other people by that. Lines are open, guys. I see the lines. Y'all guys coming in. If you want to be able to make a telephone calls, the lines are wide open. So it says, Howard, 21st century generation is weird. Howard, this 21st century generation weird. This is the text that's coming through. It says, sir, we in Seabreeze are fed up with BPL. 3 times since 3 a.m. Our power has been off. Who needs to be fired? We feel as if this area is targeted. We're fed up and we need an election. Every day, power is off. This is text that's coming through, right? It says the PLP running for the hills like cowards. This is a text that's coming through, right? So it says that Oh, we read that already. So it says they paid for the license. I can't read that. So next, call on the line with us live. Go ahead. Go ahead, call you on the line with us live. No? Is he there? I could see you ringing. I don't know. Then you call me back and cuss me out and tell me, how would I wait for 30 minutes? No, I could see you. I'm saying call on the line. No? Okay, so try to give me a call back. Give me a call back on one of those other lines. I can't hear you on this particular one if you're talking. Right? So it says, I know not to buy a house in Seabreeze. There's a text is coming through. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop it. These are things that needs to be fixed. I think we have been conditioned to look for personality and character, pizzazz, and the ability to be able to speak well, to wrap you up in an idea. That's what these politicians do. They sit on your couch and try to give you a dream. They sell you a whole dream, and then you sign it off in your blood for 5 years. And then mad at them because they don't perform, but you've never seen them perform in any other areas. They've never done anything. They have no track record socially of doing anything at all. The first time you've ever seen them, some of these last names I didn't even know live in my constituency until they come on the people ballot. And when you check it deep down into it, they have relationship with those political people. They are close to the seat of power in political organizations, but they've never been close to the community. So when you're making decisions, you have to make decisions for your community. People who've been cleaning up your park, who've been agitating for these things, who've been walking around, who've been doing all these particular things, you know them to be live and full effect in your community. I told y'all we don't vote for politicians. Political organizations send us politicians. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard.
How you doing, my brother?
Great, wonderful. Howard.
Yes.
Tell me what's going to happen in September with schools. You think the schools will be ready? I can answer for you, no.
I can tell you that. Go ahead.
Every government comes in and they say, oh, schools will be ready for September. And still carrying on major work at school. Why do they wait this August? And I think they just start last week fixing up the schools.
Answer the question.
It will never
Why do
happen.
they wait? Answer the question. Why do they wait?
I don't know how.
You know why.
Don't tell me the budget because they...
No, it ain't budget. It's contract.
Picking up their own people.
Talk to me. Let's be very clear.
And see, Howard, let me tell you something. I was to work at the NCA as a custodian, keeping the school. We never had this problem. As soon as school closed, we to work. Painting everything that need to be done soon as school closed.
I see some trust fall, all the trust fall. Oh, Jesus. I don't know. I see some picture. They say this is what has happened when you give your friend. I don't know the backstory. All I see is 97% of the trust fall into the building. You ever see that?
No, I didn't.
My God.
No, it's just the problem. But I mean, from time immemorial, this was happening. The schools can be ready for September. And it never happens. Something needs to be done. Like it's now, I know sometimes now, when it's the NCA, we never had the students just to break up the school over where.
But NCA is a private school.
Your window thing will go bad and all of that. But the children in the government school is destroy the schools. Somehow, I don't know why, but we never had that problem at NCA because you're on top of everything. And like I said, soon as school closed, that next week school closed, right, that Monday, we in there doing everything that we need to be done.
Wow.
Someone have to come up with a better idea and getting these schools ready. And I know one thing is going to happen when school open. Rain. Every September it's rain and school open. You could bank on that.
This one might be an even rainier one, so we gotta be able to take care of those things. I thank you so much for your telephone call, man. But it's only contracts. Come on, man. We live in the same society. I don't know why we just play like we don't know. We know what it is. Now we just have to figure out how to be able to fix that and expedite it for the productivity of our people externally, rather than their political cronies or those persons on the inside are trying to ensure that they get these contracts where they're going. It should be external productivity. It should start early. We've seen year after year persons saying, man, we started late. We're waiting for this. We're waiting for the first installment. We're waiting for this, and this. This is same stories. And no one's more productivity, in terms of proactivity. They're not proactive in terms of being able to rectify those issues. Let me take this next telephone call. Caller on the line with us live. Go ahead.
Good evening, Howard, man.
Hey, what's up, Sparky?
Well, you ain't live up to your word. The pay's dropping now. You don't even know how to pick them. You just pick them up off the ground.
Yeah, Sparky, I've been busy. I know you're hearing the show.
I know you're busy.
Yeah.
But you know, Howard, I think this world in the last couple of years has changed so rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
Us in the Bahamas, like I said before, we went through Dorian. Bam, hit us hard. Right after, on the heels of Dorian, we went through COVID. And during that time, I think the F&M government, they hit us hard with all the lockdowns and all the things that I thought was unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
We went through that, we wavered that storm. And then Brave came in. Philip Edward Dave Bravis. He came in with a massive doggone thing on his shoulder to try and get it right. I think we have reached a time where it's very difficult for a prime minister to come in and correct everything in 5 years. This is just my opinion, Howard.
Mm-hmm.
You get where I'm coming from?
I agree with you.
I think we need a time where we got to give somebody some time, because I think Brave himself is trying his best. Now, I personally, as a PLP member, like Pop and all of them, we've seen some rookie members going in the House Assembly. But they ain't going in, there's no politician. They just going in there. The party sent us to us. We didn't ask for them, but they going in.
Sparky, I want to talk to you. I want to ask you a question, because I know you got me on a little, but I can ask you a question. This is not the first time that I've heard, whether it's you or Popper or other persons calling to talk about how Philip Brave Davis, first time in office as the prime minister, that he has these great things to do. How long has Philip Brave Davis been in the cabinet of the Bahamas and at the helm, at the top of leadership in the PLP?
Very long.
Okay. So as a minister of works, as a deputy prime minister, he couldn't do any of these things that he wishes to do at this particular point. The same team, watch me, I will be decent with you. Every single member, you remember one time that he was vying for leadership position and everyone, Leslie Miller, all these persons, even F&Ms would come out and say, Brave is the man. Anyone need anything done, they go to Brave first. Everyone in their political organization knew that Brave was the man long time, but Brave never could have gotten anything done. So you mean to tell me that just because now he's gotten a position as the helm, at the top of leadership in the country, that he can't get anything done again? Maybe that's just a track record. Talk to me about it.
But okay, like I said, I believe he's trying his best, but I think we got to admit that there's some rookie politicians right in there for the first time and been doing things untoward that he has to deal with as well. Everybody's talking about firing this one. Popper's talking about firing Bell. Moving Alfred Gray from Ministry of Works. Moving this one from that place to the next one. Then you got the problem with the fellow in Abaco doing this foolishness as he became the new prime minister overnight. All this kind of things going on. I think he just has a bunch of cronies around him that I think he's trying to control. This is only my opinion. I think he's trying to control these people. And I've heard from some inside old PLP stalwarts that some of these rookie politicians don't even have respect for the leader. This is what people in the PLP are telling me. That they have a complaint, even with my MP for God knows. In his Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, he appears to be doing a good job in those things. But when you talk about taking care of the constituents and this and that and that, he's failing in that. I could say he failed with me in a project that I wanted to do, but no problem. But that's, moving people, voting people, bringing a new crew in and doing the same thing over and over every 5 years. I think the Bahamian populace on the whole is sick and tired of this. Bunch of people going in there over and over, doing the same thing over and over, and the Bahamian populace are suffering. And to me, it always appears that foreigners coming in our country get the bigger part of the cake. They get the icing and the cake, and the Bahamian people get nothing.
Wow. Sparky, in a few minutes, I just wanted to be able to get that from you. I thank you, man. I thank you for your telephone call. I don't agree with a lot of what y'all saying, man. I just don't. And I know that all of us have our opinions. No one could. The issue that I had with former Prime Minister Perry Christie, when he started to talk about the bridge to the future, you remember he said, this is the bridge to the future. He got Andre Rollins, right? He got Renwood Bells. He got Gregory Moss. All these fellas get thrown out. He got, these are the people that he was touting on the commercials. This is the bridge to the future. And I was upset with him because as a nationalist, I'm watching him not as an FNM, not as a PLP, not as a DNA. I am thinking about my country and listening to this inspiration because Perry Christie is extremely inspirational for me. I think I love the man, right? But I was upset with him because he stood on this proverbial bridge to the future with his back turned to tomorrow and his eyes fastened on yesterday. I was disappointed with him. He stood on the bridge to the future with his back to tomorrow and his eyes fastened on yesterday. And I believe that's what a great deal of traditionalists in our society is doing. You keep talking about the next generation who's rude and stiff-necked and they ain't doing what you want to say do, but you've never taken the time to look at tomorrow. It's wild. Quick commercial break. Be right back.
The foundation.
Y'all heard of our ghost pepper wings? Well, they're back for a limited time. At any Popeyes, enjoy our famous ghost pepper wings, marinated in spicy Louisiana seasonings, including a touch of ghost pepper. Each wing is battered and breaded in Southern style, crispy coating, and then fried up. Try 6 today along with the buttermilk biscuit and a signature side. Stop in before they're gone.
Well, they almost gone, babe.
Don't get left out this time.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Believe in education. Elevate your learning journey with the technology you need to succeed. Discover exclusive deals on our postpaid plans, featuring devices, tablets, accessories, and more. With Alive as your partner, experience seamless connectivity, creation, and collaboration. Anywhere, anytime. Visit your nearest Alive store today and champion a brighter, smarter future. Alive. Believe in Bahamians. Believe in best.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
Guardian Radio and the Foundation are on the move.
Bahamas, this one's for you.
SBT, Small Business Thursdays. Every Thursday, the Foundation with Howard Grant will highlight small businesses throughout the country, far and wide. Your products, services, prices, and personality. We want to hear it all. Get your 30 or 60-second advertisement heard on air at a fraction of the cost. We here at the Foundation understand the times and don't want you to be left behind. With Guardian Radio, you reach your specific demographic and it is unmatched.
We reach thousands daily.
Get your products off the shelf and your services in their hearts. Small Business Thursdays with the Foundation, only on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. For more information, call 302-2300 or the Help Me Howard line at 827-0111. SBT. Small Business Thursdays. Get your business moving today.
Okay, school bag, books, pencils, uniform. Oh, Lord. And I gotta buy snacks, too?
Just lay it on the line.
The Guardian Media Group and AML Foods want to help families in need with our first ever Back to School Snackathon. What's a snackathon? Well, we want to help by assisting in donating school snacks to children that may need them as they head back to school this year. To be a part of our snackathon, all you have to do is shop at your favorite Solomon Superstore or Fresh Market. At the store, you can donate your pre-existing loyalty points or you can donate cash directly at the register. Every single penny will go towards purchasing snacks that will be donated for distribution by the Bahamas Feeding Network and Hands for Hunger. Together, we can ensure that every child that opens their backpack this year will have a snack and a smile.
Get involved, get involved. Get involved, get involved. Foundation.
Quick 2 seconds before we get out of here. Let me take this quick telephone call. Call on the line with us live. Go ahead. There's a caller. You got it. Call on the line quickly before we get out of here. Go ahead.
Yeah, Howard Grant, what's happening?
What's happening, my brother?
Good. Let me just fix one or two things quickly.
Okay.
That school thing at the end of every school term, dealing with that thing. Each government school should have at least 5 handymen on duty at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a plumber, you have an electrician. You don't need a paid free electrician. Electrician who can hook up a fan, who can fix a little light switch. You don't get on the job. They don't have to call the education for that. They should have a staff there. The school wall need a little painting. They have somebody there painting. They have somebody there cutting the grass with a lawn. A team there at each school.
You ever been to government school?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the
That's
government
what they
school.
need to do. Then when school closed, the big work won't be so hard. They can't find the right toilet seat for the little children toilet. They can't find this thing. They can't find that thing. You know you need time in school closed.
I appreciate your telephone call. I gotta let you go. I get 60 seconds. But you have to know protocol is associated. There is a Parents-Teachers Association, and there is an association who's responsible for being able to collect funds for those things. There is an association within the organization that I was a part of also that would create the monies or get the monies to be able to get the tissue, get the toilet, get the this, that. Most times you don't have access to those funds. So we need to understand the intimate involvement in how these things happen and why you don't have it throughout the school year, right? But for the purposes of this conversation, guys, I want to thank you so very kindly for being able to tune in with us today. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for all those things. We're going to remain as transparent as possible and in the middle of the road to talk about what needs to happen from a national growth and development perspective. I thank you for your contribution and your commitment to that. Let me see if I can get one or two of these texts in before he says, the Bahamians ain't tired yet because they kept voting from PLP and FNM. Have you given them any other choices? I feel like one choice existed for me in my generation. That was the DNA. That was for me. That was for me. And womp, 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 womp. 96.9 FM radio, Howard Grant in your company. Tomorrow it's Wednesday, and we're going to have a panel discussion. Let me see if I can be able to have great conversations, see if I can bring two voices in here to make this thing happen, to talk about what's happening in the country. Guys, have a beautiful day out there. We'll see you tomorrow, God's Spirit, right here on The Foundation with Howard Grant. Have a great day, guys.
Foundation. Foundation. The Foundation.
The Foundation of Howard Grant is brought to you by Alive, AML Foods Limited, APNL Holdings Limited, Burger King, Commonwealth Bank, the Deposit Insurance Corporation, the Digital Transformation Unit, Freeport News, the Ministry of Agriculture, Marine Resources, Popeyes, Bronze Electric Motors, and Scotiabank.
The Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation. The Foundation. Foundation. Foundation.